we're going to shift focus here to the opioid crisis. George, we're going to start with you. I'm sorry, Kathy will see this is why I can't be in charge of this. I have a track now. Thanks. Kathy, we'll start with you. So, depending upon what polls you look at, and really all of them show Ohio being near the top as far as being the worst state for the opioid crisis. Butler County ranks number 5 in the state of Ohio in terms of overdose deaths. What will you do as a state representative to combat that problem?
Look, this is very personal to me. I have a very close family member who is an opioid addict to this day. Narcan saved his life just last year. It's easy to cast judgment unless you know someone in crisis. This is a complex problem without an easy solution. And I will tell you, we need to look around at other areas and how they're battling this crisis and see what works. It's going to take a comprehensive solution. And that means we need affordable and accessible treatment. Do you know how hard it is to get effective treatment? Unless you have a court order or a lot of money, it's difficult to get treatment. You know, Ohio's government can work with local governments and regional partners to expand access to treatment and to expand access to mental health therapy. There are so many things that need to happen. Families need additional support. First responders need support. If we work together and we put people over politics and special interests, we can solve the very problems like the opioid addiction, help to save lives, and further enrich families.
Thanks, Kathy. George, question to you.
Yeah, thanks. Kathy, I can appreciate what you've been through. Davey and I have some dear friends whose children have been fighting that as well. And it's at all socioeconomic levels. Listen, here's how serious the problem is. If you look at deaths per 100,000 due to heroin overdoses, Ohio, number 2 state in the nation, number 2. Second only to West Virginia. Butler County, I'm sorry to correct you, we are now number 3 county in Ohio. First is Montgomery County, second is Brown or Adams, I believe it's Brown, then Butler County. So it's a serious issue, and if you look at the chart of deaths, you don't see a whole lot in our district, but within our county, it's a serious problem. What's the answer? I think one of the things Kathy said is right. We have to figure out ways to come up with treatment over incarceration for users. Not only is the cost of incarceration, and by the way, it's my party that is saying we can't afford treatment. I'm calling BS. Not only is the cost of treatment long-term cheaper than the cost of incarceration, if we treat somebody and get them whole and get them productive, guess what? Rather than sucking taxes out of the system to incarcerate them, they are productive and they're putting money into the system. So treatment has to be one of the things we have to do. Then we have to really figure out the root cause, and I wish I could tell you I knew what it is. I can tell you when I had my bone-attached hearing aid, my doc said, I'm going to give you 5 opioids. You may not need them, but if you need them, take them. The prescription was filled for 30, and I got home, and my wife will tell you I didn't even need an aspirin. Yeah, it was annoying, but it never got to a level of pain. So there is a problem with people overprescribing drugs, and I believe part of that is government mandates. Government are forcing docs to overprescribe, and now governments are saying, wait a minute, look what we're doing. That's why you have to be careful of any government regulation. Always a law of unintended consequences.
All right, we're going to stay in overdoses or opioids, but specifically addiction. We at the Journal News have been working on an opioid series and an addiction series for this month. And I've talked to a lot of lawmakers over the past month. Jim Butler, representative up in Oakwood, he says that we have an addiction problem. It's more than just opioids, it's more than just heroin, it's that underlying problem is addiction. And he also said that we need a comprehensive solution, as well as other lawmakers said that we need something to be more proactive. Mental health, addiction services, education, and so forth. Butler County's had over 1,000 overdose deaths since 2012. As of July of this year, and about 72% of those are because of heroin and opioids. So the question is, how do you address this underlying problem of addiction?
Mike, if I knew the answer, I wouldn't be running for state representative. The problem is many-fold. You know, we look at the people that are addicted, but it really hasn't changed much since 1913. 1913, all drugs were legal. You could go to your local apothecary, get marijuana, you could get cocaine, you could get heroin. Federal government did a study and found out 1.3% of Americans were addicted to drugs. So in 1914, they made those drugs illegal. 1970, they do another study. By the way, this is all, you can find all these stats at the website LEAP, Law Enforcement Against Prohibition. These are a group of police officers that are against illegal drugs. 1970, Congress does another study. They discover 1.3% of Americans are now addicted to illegal drugs. So they made the laws tougher, 3 strikes and you're out, on and on. In 2010, Congress does another study, and guess what? 1.3% of Americans are still addicted. So my thought is we keep punishing those that are addicted rather than trying to help them. I think the key to this is treatment. Let's get these people off of being addicted. Let's still go after the drug dealers. Let's still stop them. We have to stop locking up people that we're pissed off at and focus on locking up people that we're afraid of. And I believe that the key to this, Mike, is treatment. Helping people to get better. And by the way, the reason the deaths have spiked so much in the last few years isn't because there's more people addicted, it's because the stuff that is on the street is more deadly.
Kathy?
I would agree with you, Representative Lang. I think it's really important to crack down on the drugs that are coming into our area. The quality of the drugs is just intense. I mean, a lot of folks who try things for the first time are hooked, and it doesn't take long before we know what happens from them. I will tell you that the Medicaid expansion in Ohio has been a really valuable tool in battling addiction and the opioid crisis. Despite what one might think about Medicaid, right, it's really important, I think, to preserve this until there is a better solution. You know, there are a lot of underlying mental health concerns, and again, as George said, I would agree. If I knew the answers to all this, I wouldn't be where I am either. I'd be making a whole lot of money doing something else, right? But look, the Medicaid expansion strengthens our options to treatments, right? But we also need to provide follow-up care and long-term extended care. And the research shows that to treat this addiction, it takes a medication-assisted treatment. And then you've got to think about the families that need supports. I mean, regardless of what happens, if the person survives or overdoses and leaves us, there are often children involved. Our job and family services are overburdened. Our schools are trying to pick up the slack and help. We've got families that need additional support, and this is a huge concern. I mean, it is, when I say a comprehensive approach, it is really going to take looking at the entire system, the entire healthcare system, up and down, to figure out what we can do together. And this isn't a partisan issue at all. I agree with you there.
Getting close to wrapping up here, so Kathy, this was going to go to you. What is your economic vision for the citizens in the 52nd House District?
Well, we're doing pretty well as it is. I think the citizens of the 52nd House District, we are, I think, the second most prosperous district in the state. So I think we need to continue and expand on that. You know, we still have quite a few folks who are living in poverty. I think it might come as a surprise to some people in this room that about 20% of Lakota's kids are considered in need, for lack of a better word, from the state of Ohio Department of Education, and 40% of Fairfield's kids are as well. You know, we've got to make sure that we are bringing good paying jobs to all of Ohio and to this district, right? And that includes partnering with regional opportunities and bringing transit here and making our community as vibrant as possible, because people want to live in good communities and businesses want to come where their people want to live.
George, you're up.
Kathy's right. Our district is the second most prosperous district. Our average median household income is about, it's than $50 away from being number one. And I'm convinced if our 3 townships stay on the track we're on, we are going to make it number one. We still, however, have a poverty problem. We have pockets in Westchester, Fairfield, and Liberty of deep poverty. And a lot of people like to say, you know, we have racial issues in America. I don't believe that. I believe we have poverty issues in America. Poverty breeds insanity. It breeds low self-esteem. It breeds promiscuity. It breeds criminality. It is a poverty issue. And we must continue to do better to address the poverty issue. Anybody here that understands the laws of supply and demand, you know why poverty, although it's still in our district, is very small, because we have put business first and increased jobs. And the laws of supply and demand say as you increase demand, wages will go up so people are more prosperous. But we can do more. We can take the Ohio model, the Westchester model, to Ohio. Let me just read the mission statement from our Business First caucus that I started. I wrote this, and all of the members agreed to this. We believe the state cannot thrive without a strong business presence. We, the Business First caucus, exist to promote, advance, and protect business interests and entrepreneurship by eliminating barriers for expansion and job creation. Our mission is to make Ohio the most prosperous state in the nation by making Ohio the most business-friendly state in America, to inspire companies to do great things and to financially dominate the other states. Steve, it's my hope when your son is finished with his NFL kicking career that he's going to come back in Ohio and there's going to be an opportunity for him to do whatever he wants to do, to be whatever he wants to be.
Last question.
All right, and just to clarify, there is a school district in the 52nd, Fairfield Township part of it.